Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Atwafonya tifo mema obibia akwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Ekwanya NPP aban ede Ghana faso anase krono NPP aban ebebo Ghana for the past 8 years no Jonathan ede nsembia tudwa wachaze nyenti Ghana fo no eto abano dodo ede ma NDC ema omoba power ne nyina anase omonchi NPP fo na omobo Ghana krono anase omobia Ghana sika ne nyina ensema hodo bi kawe wana Jonathan ede atudwa ha PENDREAM TV. Person be come on na eti ne nsem no nchirim. Subscribe to channel no like na share jemade no ma afoforo ensa enkabi. Come on na eti nsem no nchirim.
Jonathan Alamaso, and we on the issue of the
issue of this bank
BOG headquarters,
the building of Bank of Ghana. In fact, Ghanaians should be worried about this because NPP in 8 years, we have all seen then that when they don't have any avenue to create, loot and share, quickly they will now come in with something. Before you embezzle money, you have to create the avenue. So I see Bank of Ghana, building of new Bank of Ghana as an avenue to what? To create, loot and share. That was what NPP have done. And I urge the NDC government, say after the election, I want to say this and let it be on record, that after the election, some of us, we have entered this trotro, Tasi and Co. And Diayeti, our trotro mo, Tasi mo, we both money, we the account. The Uncrofor can seriously add the first priority of Ghanaians. And nothing na omodi power, Emma NDC massively no. And say, Ombechi San Uncrofor way. Omunim say Ghanaians believe say NDC in Kwana bet me I sadia way am omo. Omono omunim say NPP government have looted our money massively. And how can they get their money? And they have that confidence say the NDC ba power ombeji sasikanamai. Na Uncrofor omo ye capable to prosecute no. Ni ya prosecute omo. I was able to interview most of them, like True Talk and those stuff. You see that they have prioritized the arrest and recovery of the money that these people have looted. Then if NDC sit down, I am saying this and I'm still saying it, the first thing that Ghanaians are much concerned, and if NDC is able to do this, and they will be in power, honestly, they will be in power and they will be tired of power. And Ghanaians are very, very sensitive about it. That how can 261 million be used to build a house? That you have done this. Even the thing was at the stage of 70% of completion. You went ahead and commissioned it. Do you commission a house that you have not completed? What is the motivation behind it? What is the rationale behind the commission of the house? Are you getting it? So now you could see, say, NPP for no, so now ni like area to loot no. No, Marco creative bibi. Oh, muma yes idea way. Ye per se yes idea way. Na Ghana for no so oh, so we na mo per se omo ye dia. Ni the yema omo kwa na omo koye. Na because of before omo yes idea no ma plan it da. Say oh, idea ye ba be oh ye ba be creative pure water factory. Na dia wo omo trimo no enye pure water factory na omo ko create anase omo ko build no but omo pesa avenue no a omo di be den be create na omo loot na omo share nti sa Bank of Ghana na omo ye yi se omo set up omo pesa omo ye amasi sa build no ye seta bi a omo anase avenue bi omo create a omo de loot nti dia NDC be yan se omo ye forensic audit. Yeah. They should be serious about this because Ghanaians are watching us. Ghanaians are watching, and their priority is that NDC ba abema ombeti sa Uncrofor way. Obi obeye capable of being prosecuted, no, they should be prosecuted. That is what Ghanaians are prioritizing. If NDC, President John Dramani Mahama, if they can be able put their feet down, not me anyway or NPP mu wa this car oh me mean to me channel sad there no we pay NDC opposition 2028 is smelling. I am telling you, NDC opposition 2028 is smelling because we are sensing that we are perceiving most of the things that are going on. See, now who are yama opposition? Say, koye say, uko honuma, uko do honuma. One who say, we anormality be akoso, and I say investment be akoso. Now who ya? One say, oh, nipa na oye involved no, or ya madamfo. Sadia no omonjaye because Ghanaians have voted NDC. Their priority, no, they say, NPP has been stealing their money. How do they get those money back? They believe, say, NDC nko ande bet me ede. I save omo. I disassi kanama omo. Into mo to abama e. Be 1.7 million gap. Share parliament 2/3. E bien see that. See the responsibility now end this Ghana for the man end this no. Enya easy o. Nti ye kotina say. Na e ka say oh, and there yama o mama 2/3 in parliament. That's why Ghanaians are critically watching. They are critically looking at NDC. And if we don't do what they want, the reason they gave us the power, please, I am afraid, NDC 2028, we should be careful. 2028, it will have. And two, appointments, Koso. Me, I want to somehow deviate from this topic because Nyama be a hammy. So would be a very sensitive position. The man and no person in politics. Politics there, no matter what. Oh yeah, will be a Yama appointment. No, the party that came before you were given the appointment, you must also think about it. Are you getting it? So one thinking about some party now. How do you be in power so that you can be appointed? One, I am not saying say over power don't save Ghanaian. You have to save Ghanaian. They're the people who also brought the party before you got the opportunity. No, you have to also think about them. The can say some people are some sectors. They don't know how, and they are not getting the root of what brought them to power. And in 3 years' time, you still go back to the same people. That person that you put there today, that doesn't want to be friendly, that is not ready, say, obey entertaining microphone. Be careful because 3 years time to 4 years time, no, you better how are we going to do it if you are not close to them? If you don't entertain them? The one who say, okay, and then me manya power. Nti, oh, over me can now say, I mean, few. Sad dia no stopping. And then I make no say, Obi wo NDC mo. A yen say, oh, Adamfobi. Na Adamfobi or NPP mo. Wa luti Ghana sika. Or pese o kovana. Onye careful. Because sad dia no, a diebe call aniva. Because in there, say, dear Mahama, no, the man is ready to work. And I don't want to mean it. And nothing about appointment. See, yeah, my appointment. You know, no person sabotage papa na. Who will take you on? And we are monitoring them from the ministerial position down to the CEO positions. Any position be a wanyano. Who no say, Obi na ye bibi, and a bibi ye bibi. And I am out akonyano. And yes, you won't want away smart and as you intelligent. And not a mouse position. Be who say, Obia ye bibi. And now, who coach now? Also, oh, NPP nibi, I am your madam for. Why you say, oh, person, oh, person, obey your way. Be careful. Name is Adiano, a yami pa. Say, Ghanaians are watching us. Uko for ma. Uko for, say, Uko from pa. The echo, they are watching us closely. Because sometimes some of us know you're receiving calls every ground. Then they call you where you are, to whom me or forestry. Only say national coordinator or that's what forestry. Unless or that's what. Papa, we blocky, yeah, crofo. I demand no or blocky, yeah. so wo ye MPP ni so wo di nyama eba aduane eba akra wo obegya no fala wo we no ebe clear so wo ye NDC no wo ni a connection be to Alex wo ye national coordinator for forestry me ka say we enko lands and natural resources minister ho say the ekoso no Alex no omo pamo no Alex omo yi no free ho national coordinator forestry commission o wachi mota here omo pamo no sa papa no omo yi no free ho me kai pa say me di load e bakra papa we me di load e bakra na TIDD for your paper o my mistake for dating for date keke our document so papa we yachi load no achi mota abra TIDD no omo nyina omo ye forestry eba ne say na obi be ye mistake or the same forestry na ebeduro ho a one to me a friend na abisa ne say adent na we ye mistake for the date no wachi me agibisika what did Jamaica na say nti san krofo we da so system no mo papa me see obi a we ye responsible me wow boss Julius Debra papa Julius Debra mesrewa papa we da so e wo position mo ye bibi mfa ho Alex national coordinator forestry commission mo ye bibi fa ho mo jai papa we wo ho a 2028 e di asembeba
then pacho me sure one is it that sir position no he rose through the ranks no.
Yes, that's why you rise through the rank, but when you get there it's a political appointment. You rise to the rank.
You rise to lieutenant colonel.
Yes.
But
then
colonel, you need political.
You get appointment like how IDP and those when you reach then they will appoint you. And for them, they rise through the rank. It is only the CEOs that they can appoint anybody. Are you getting it?
Okay.
So the man is frustrating you, the perceived NDC guys.
Is he a political appointee?
Yes, he was appointed by this Akufo-Addo. So something should be done about this quickly because the man is frustrating us. So perceive so we are indirectly. All the Achimota is here before you call election. Achimota hono no ohun load bia ho. But ene udu hono ma see 7 cars na go.
No oji bright.
No me say oti one no oji wo car. Me about 2 years ago. Oti me load. Me tua 8,000. But I made load. I look like a cargo. I look like a cargo. Say train idea 12,000. That time. Ade.
The system is very corrupt.
You see?
Nti sa papa we me say yen papa we ni free ho. Enye sa. Yen ko for no mo ye yo, they are angry. Nti ye Alex, we say national coordinator ye ni free ho.
Mami na say abusia aya wonto na 2.3 FM ye pe hunu. Jumedi so na wasugusu awuti enne memene that Saturday morning a weekend review na ye die no me die the citizen coffee wusu ade awte no era Jonathan Alomaso or your financial secretary Edema Adam GH Ora Abraham Kumsing secretary general Edema Ghana Federation of Labour and senior political analyst Ira Alista Tyro Nelson over the week by you know from here we'll move on to the economic dialogue now share and also how things will play out the be aligning to the budget I heard him say making any MPP for a press conference anti Tyro I mean Emra on the BOG headquarters, senior political analyst,
deputy CEO of the airwaves,
deputy
CEO of the airwaves in defense of government policy without salary. he knows himself. I'm sure he's listening at home. Third party. The Bank of Ghana was set up in 1958, and it was not for any reason that we set up the Bank of Ghana in 1958. CEO say Fremont Paris ne papa mo frère ba ko no say CEO say bonso ne papa Antonio say ko to ne papa na America na asem no de na say Bola minister friend Yes, or no, so ne papa Sem na America no. He was our first governor. Kroboy do say, and they introduced him to Kwame Nkrumah. By the time Kwame Nkrumah was leaving power, Cocoa Estates, now yes, Ewo Kumasi, there were 100 of them. CEO say he owned 91, and Kroboy do say owned 9 of them. JNK Taylor Assets Commission. Go and check. It's the Bank of Ghana no. You set it up no. And yet ne almost the ball minor chrono and yet ne. Ask me who those who work there. Have you seen them advertising the Daily Graphic or through the Public Service Commission as to who should go and work in the Bank of Ghana? Have you seen them collecting interviewing people? I'm asking you.
Yeah.
In the past years, I'm asking you. Look, for the past years, almost everybody there has gone through a politician to get his job at the Bank of Ghana. And that is why I believe it must be dissolved. The Bank of Ghana, it must be dissolved.
How can we dissolve it?
We must dissolve it, yes, because our currency is not making any meaningful strides on the international market. And those who are supposed to do it are running losses for us as a nation. We cannot continue to pay them such huge sums of money as they do nothing to grow our currency. Dissolve the place.
No, dissolve the Bank of Ghana or dissolve the board.
Look, the workers there, everybody should go home and reorganize. Oh, Mr. Gomsi, what are you talking about? What do they do?
No, but the ordinary worker,
What do they? I'm asking you. Go and check the number of people they have employed. Look, go and check senior staff. What do they do? Cut the place down. Cut it into size. Look, if you like, go and check. Even in 2000, from 2001, Kufuor power. Only Nipa is so good Bank of Ghana. Professor Abdul's about see father for all. And no jam. Amusa ban and say only Nipa mo so good. They are political appointees. They don't understand banking. They don't know what it is because the place is running at a loss. And we are all seeing it. Look at the states, one, of Africa, the structure of our central bank, the African banking system. How is it like? All over. Do we have a central bank that unites us with our money? Are we able to collectively, as Africa, raise money, even through our pensions, to do something for ourselves as Africa? We are weak when it comes to our finances. We are not thinking. You have actuarial scientists, you have financial experts, but they don't have the political will to do the right thing when it comes to our finances. Look at our banking system. Indigenous people, local people, they must play a role in the banking sector. You must have Ghanaians who own banks, who have invested their money into the banking sector. How many of them are left now? I'm asking you, apart from Fidelity. They are all gone down. Why? You did 9 million BCS idea, and so you are going 25 million. And the best say idea no. You timuni a boy and sem. So this is where we are. Instead of strengthening our indigenous banks and giving them opportunity to work and to make our finances go round as a people, because there's a gap between rural and urban finance. So what if I want to establish my banking system across rural areas? What the central bank will take from me should not be the same as somebody who wants to operate in securely an urban area, like Data Bank was doing. They operate in an urban area. So they cannot compete with GN Bank, who goes to the village to go and compete. If you are asking for capitalization, you should ask for less from GN Bank. They serve that lower end of the population that needs the money in small quantities. You understand? Taking service to their doorstep. You aggregate the banking system. You don't say everybody should pay 60 million. You don't say everybody should pay 100 million. No. You segregate the market. Now, baby, in order to grow, because one, you must come, like I said, micro. Now, according to KCM, so now individuals, then groups, then now societies, then now you're talking about nations. Yeah, to build a bank, you start from the scratch. What is our rural banking system doing? Even for rural people, are they able to give them money as loans to do farming, to go into agriculture or cocoa farming? I'm asking you. They are not able to. It is money lenders who have taken over the rural markets, who are exploiting our cocoa farmers. They give them money, you cannot pay, they take over your farm. You become a poor person living in the area. Yes. So the central bank itself, the reasons for which it was set up to grow our banking sector from scratch to the rural area, the urban area, to grow from small to big banks, to allow indigenous people to also fester and grow in our banking sector, they have failed on their policy. And me, I've said it. Go and check the salary of the BOG governor. Ube Johnny. Ube Johnny. Upa checking the salary. You run. You shouldn't pay them. They don't deserve salary. And they start saying, how?
They cause to mess because for them to even collapse these banks, Kosinu. I tell you, he was everywhere.
Yes.
In this country.
Yes.
Oh, very wicked. She said, evil people.
Heritage Bank, all of them, Royal Bank, what are they
No,
done?
no.
They had capitalization, Energy Bank, what are they done wrong?
So-
Political persecution, you understand? So you are killing the spirit of the banking drive within the indigenous people in their own economy. So who will come and bring his money to anything?
Of right, can they bring him back?
So who
Or South Africa?
we saw
Namibia.
Namibia.
Or US.
Or Namibia.
So US are
Or Namibia, which you know, window, maybe one in
from
baby.
But or South Africa, you see, this man must be chased and then
He knew what he was coming to do before he came. You know, he worked at Solomon Brothers before he came to Accra. He knew what he came to do when he decided to go and borrow Kelly Gadget's father's money. They didn't pay the old man before they died. Set up data bank in Accra. Always praying. They were scheming. Or no Bible or Beka verse, no Beka. No. Even the Pope in recent times will not pick that Bible verse to talk to the whole world. By the time we Beka Bible now, you're born near what Dino. Me say oti a chise odi uti. Eko shejem. Any year who no. No. 26.1 million. Is it 261 million? Let's look at the alternative uses of the money. School under trees. How many of them can we take? Now we have about 1,600 or 1,800. And it costs about 18 million Ghana cedis to just build 6 units with all the facilities and teachers' bungalows. So how many of them were we going to take out? I'm asking you, over hundreds of them. We refuse to use the opportunity to give the rural people, those who grow the cocoa, those where we find the minerals, those where our resources are. We refuse to send the money back and investment back to them. And that is where we are. So when I talk about schools under trees, then I talk about Agenda 111 hospitals or even our CHIPS compounds. Look at the many CHIPS compounds across that need finishing. 261 million. Do you know what it could have done for CHIPS compound? Even your Agenda 111. It could have finished 15 solid hospitals, brand new, with everything inside, so that we can take on our nurses. We missed the opportunity. Look at the state of our roads. The state of our roads. You see, the Bank of Ghana, no, what is a Bank of Ghana now, Boka? Oh, a Ghana Wabono, you should see it in real investment. You understand what I'm saying? Kwame Nkrumah free power, no. You see, Sikana Edema, no. Why then? Well, this Sikano. We saw the money in investments. No, this Sikano. 43 brand new secondary schools, our roads, our communities he built. You understand? The hospitals he gave us. Yes, motorways still there. The companies he built. Some of them we sold, yes. But you could see that the money given to him, there were investments to show. Tell me, who's the Bank of Ghana, Waboka? What did you do with the money? During Achampon's time, Achampon had a problem with the international finance partners because he said he would not pay the loans that Buze had gone for. The loans repudiation, the entire policy of Achampon. So he could not get cash. He had to use the central bank to finance most of the things he did. Operation Feed Yourself will be a my 1 CD. Broni be a Ghana need 1 CD to support Operation Feed Yourself. It came from internal. Go and find out what Achampon did in his time. Dansuman, do you know what happened? When it got to the time we had to use money to buy the foreign components. Say better that Douani Ade Ayenye bi wahano. It took DK Poison's money that he had gone to fight boxing. Sika Onyaye, the government had to acquiesce it, give him somewhere to stay, and use the money to buy the foreign components we needed to complete Dansoman and sell under State Housing Corporation. At the time, Charlie Nyansa, the Nyansa Nebu, my cocoa, he used BOG to buy a cocoa because at the time we didn't have a syndicated loan. Into a mama or cheat. Then it's sponsored by the Bank of Ghana. The cocoa in the corner Sikane bar. You go with your cheat to your shed and then you go and take your money. They used the central bank at the time to even our gold. Achampon nationalized our gold mines. So he used the gold to back our currency. Despite the fact that we were having problems with the international finance organizations, our currency, go and check, it was strong and Akutu Achampon. The least it went was 2 cedis 75 pesos. New Ghana cedi at the time to a pound under Achampon. Go and check, the currency was strong to nationalize our gold mines and use the gold to back the currency. And Nyansano, he had people to advise him, Dr. Gardner and co, to advise him on economic policy on our way forward. Today, look at the Bank of Ghana. What are they doing with our gold? Gold for oil. Gold, oil. The central bank cannot sponsor what we call investments into our oil sector to connect the oil to our refinery in Tema. so that we downstream will produce our engine oil, produce all residual fuel and sell to the international market. The Bank of Ghana cannot do that investment. We have to bring somebody from outside. What are they doing there? I say sack them. If you come to my area, their residence is there, banqueters. Nip obian them, obian daisi wakeke, and obian them. They are wasteful organization. Me that dampo me mpe omo asemi uso bi ye juma okra no ye me time because you see ka sem nko ye and omo ye tuo muka go and check their salary. Go and check their salary. Close that place down. It is not effective. It's not producing anything for this nation. But I this year this say central bank in the bayano. Look at where we stand when it comes to our finances. I'm asking you.
The critical staff there.
What critical staff? What do they know? Don't say what is critical staff. They are political appointed staff. Don't say critical. What technical knowledge have they brought there to sustain the currency? Say governor Ukraine na muso mumu technical na mumu abia. What are you also doing to help the place?
Critical staff na.
Say they should all go. Bank of Ghana there. The omo yani so muso esika. They take our coins from region to region, no more distribute. They don't do anything about our money. I'm telling you. Some of them they don't even understand monetary policy. Me I majored in economics. When you talk about currency, you need an effective production and distribution system in order to sustain your currency. The Bank of Ghana is not involved in production. Are they supporting industry? Mr. Kumsin, are they supporting industry? Are they supporting distribution? Look at our roads. Look at the state of our roads.
Ordinary staff. No,
I'm saying the central bank, they are not doing their work. So the currency is not working.
It's at the top there.
You know, you sack them.
The top people
close down the central bank for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Why? What is it? No. Obiode a cabro. Shebi sika sumami. Na de bia no sika na kawo. Why should I keep you there? What is your use? If you cannot help people to grow, indigenous people to grow our banking system. She akonya mo kwa kotraso. Akonya mo demo to sebi o. E kwa kotraso aye juma. She di ayabo 11.1. 11.1 million. That money could renovate the Winneba Sports College and make sure sports will never suffer in sports again. 11.1 million. But you may renovate Winneba Sports College to put our young boys under 14, under 17. If we want to see football grow, other sports grow, we can invest that money into that Winneba Sports College, and we'll see the returns it to bring to the nation. Pate Nisika and saying it's 52 million. Yes, Kudus is about how much? 38 million. Just 2 footballers put together, and your nation has not invested in sports to that extent. They have money to go and buy furniture. I'm telling you, wasteful venture. Because at some point, how do you use 8.6 million for ICT? And then recently, Ghana Water Company, I would say Omati Technology and Innovation Unit. Yakosha Ghana Water. Yes, Yakosha Ghana Water. Almost system information was in Ira. You cannot go and audit them for anything under Afenyo Markins board chairmanship. What is ICT? What is ICT for Bank of Ghana? 8.6 million. But in the end, you collapse the ICT center and tell me that Bank of Ghana Boka. The same thing, ECG. The IT department, so much USICA. The IT department, they sent to so they collapsed the place. They brought an external IT person to superimpose itself on ECG and take money from them as a payment. Baby, your mind do me. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, baby, your mind do no. Kai, as I see a sorry waka. We can rectify these things. We can Mr. Kumsi. Let me learn.
This government has a responsibility.
Yes.
You see, but we are talking yes. But the thing is that who should take them on?
That is why they said.
Who should take who on?
What you are saying is the Bank of Ghana.
But the government has a responsibility. A new government has come.
That's what I'm saying.
Johnson Sema has been there before. So the rubbish that and has brought and the SADC has come to put there. Johnson Sema must be able to clear it and clear it efficiently. I'm saying go back to 2001 when J. Kufuor came and look at those people you have brought into the bank. Go and check them and go and check their. Now who you independent afraid you remember? How difficult is it? KPI simple. Their output over the years. Omo buy a car. Infrasobia, so we are keeping them there. Sack them. All their buildings, some buildings now around the country, they don't sleep in it. Yes, some more allowance. After they have built those ones, yes, you see senior officers staying somewhere. Now they die in the hall. No be that. Can they see first light to Nyabe in that? Now they see first light to our banqueters. And die to Obiantim. What are we talking about? Can't we match our needs as a people? So me, I've said it. Central bank, politically, we said we will allow the Bank of Ghana to be independent to pick its own governor over the years. We have not been able to do it. Currently, semi-autonomous. So the government still pays the governor. So Ofawa me pacho the Obeka say one money. Me, I disagree with John Mahama when he says that he will not allow the governor to print extra currency in the system. Yes, there's a good of it and there's a bad of it. You can print currency and invest properly into a certain financial cycle to bear fruit. When the fruit returns, you send it back to the central bank to cover up for your printing so that inflation will not go up.
You are printing currency for what?
You can do so many things with it.
Currency that you have.
You can use it to pay for your internal bills. You have roads to construct. You have things to do.
No,
Mr. What are you saying?
No, listen. You know that you said you did economics. If you print this paper, ordinary paper, you put these pictures and a lot of them, you put them out there. What are you doing?
I will use. That's what I'm saying. That
inflation?
No, you deliberately direct that investment you are talking about.
What is important?
You directly that money you are talking about that you say is a loss. How is it a loss? Invest it in your road sector. Put tolls on your road, and collect the money back to the central bank.
And then
you understand? Set up agribusiness factories. Use the central bank to set up factories and call Alomaso. He's into timber, so let him set up with some engineers to go into timber processing. Give him money. That's what Japan did.
But not to print paper.
You that's what I'm saying. You invest it into a proper financial cycle to bear fruit. You do it, Japan, Toshiba, a group of young people who came from the university, and the state decided to use the central bank to support their activities. They gave the company to them at $1. Today, look at Toshiba. We can do it here. The central bank, I'm saying, is not innovative. It's not innovative. There are people who have studied economics to PhD level, and they don't know that theoretically what is written on paper in economics is different from what happens on a day-to-day basis. Yet they are working at the central bank. What do you expect? Our money will not grow. Look at your gold. You are taking 3% of what you have. 9%. Yes. You are not using the gold to back your currency. How do you expect your currency to grow? You have oil, an oil-producing country. Yet every morning you have to raise money to go and buy crude oil to come and look at it. So where is your crude oil that you have? I'm saying we have missed the opportunity.
That's the problem.
Now fishing trawlers have come from China. They are always on our seas. They are taking the fish. Tomatoes crying to me, baby. She say, "Yenianumo Burkina." Oti asie. Banchi cry the free Abidjan. Any of their bagana, see Abidjan Banchino, a sauce in Ghana, they are near the Wofufoni edi. What are we doing to ourselves? Yes. Yes. Say that's close. Some comes from Uganda. Uganda. Now be Uganda market. It's in Islamu Bank of Ghana and the studies, you know. Send your Kano. SSC by now he should be in prison. Deliberately he has come from 2018. While boy a casa, you would do this kind of year. You see him in a new car, you see him in a new house. His salary is always increasing. Yet there is no work he has done to improve the value of the currency. You have a parallel currency of 5 cedi running on the system. Why? Because Bakono president brother and a printing into no common and no printing no the other two. What are we talking about? Look, we have to look sharp. We didn't just win the elections to come and sit down and then let people come and say that we are not doing anything. No, that's anything that many know. A lot of things. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, we traveled outside Accra to go and convince people to vote for JM and that we could change this country. So we must change it. I'm expecting Johnson and Siama to have a radical approach at the Bank of Ghana. He should not do business as usual. We will not get results. He must find ways in which the central bank can get access to our gold first through the Precious Minerals Marketing Board and buy our gold first to the central bank to support our currency.
That is why we have the cocoa board now.
No, the gold board. Yes, they must work in tandem with the Bank of Ghana to secure that one. Our oil, first off taker must be Ghana. Our oil must be processed here. Why do we have refineries here and then we will take crude oil to IFA? Let's find a way. We have to test majority. Let's go to parliament and change all those things. Other than that, what is life about? You better not mind. You see, your gold, your diamond. We boast about what we have, human resource. Now they be accommodating. Meeting Accra one city in bottom. Now play central bank wa boka. With the 260. A dine wow. A yanko tremu. Chale obi only baby dabiano. Monday muma yanko ni enfa yanyema. Yanko tremu ni endem. Because the old bank at Accra and say it. So we omu to free. Me catch and California one time. Yemi meni yo hade denko yoga. Ke ame fire bank emi no nya wami. Because the people in Accra they don't have housing. Go and check. That's where I come from. So if they leave that bank, omu free up and go for them. Because then the better wire thing. You decide the better thing. Some say in Crafono, come me can megame. Come and move your Bank of Ghana, no, yeah, true, now, Jemmy. What was she pony? Gamasipo, Gamanoni, or was she pony? Nakamasika, Emma. Nebiana Casumo, or woman Sumo. Yes, slam and spawn on your quatrain. That is what to do. Me make Accra or me this week. I'll go to Accra. I know what I'll go and do there. Not for money cheap, not for money no moon. Na move to see the Casapa see or Muadie. What are we talking about? Many of brother pay pa. Sir governor, no. We have to bring him to justice. Me have said it. Look, he's part of the team, the Kenofriata team, who schemed when we're in opposition to come and superimpose themselves on our economy and bring us to our knees as we are now. Kelly Gajepo led the charge. Reverend Obama Tete Sokaon, Albert and Comfort Okran, almost sorry, I know more road show. Yofi Grant, you see them and Stadison. Then the two lawyers at Data Bank, they all joined the fray and entered the economy. They're on boards, they're on SIC boards, they're on financial boards, Ghana Commercial Bank, ADB, Bank of Ghana boards, and they were there. What to do? What do you call the place? The other place? Securities agencies. They came to superimpose. They knew what they wanted. C'est ça mon sac de omu peu. Muja omwa. Ombe Johnny Ken is on the run. He will never return to Ghana again. Obeba.
Through his lawyers.
Do you know why? Because you called him a fugitive, and he didn't want you to continue to call him a fugitive because you're not going to come. Into my date, Abema Obuato yem May or the back of December, not Saturday wako May, not Saturday wako December. You watch whether he will come here. He knows. You think he didn't know what he was doing? He didn't know. Me can obi say me ngedi na aku what friend is saying. Said na ationu je makoti na ba. And okwakochi kenufo ataba. Me manuesi.
No, je no
okwacho manuesi.
Je no okwachi.
Abusha 92.3 FM. Mr. Kumse, what's okay maybe? Oh. Yeah, economic forum no, the tidal waves, which is also an issue. Odim said, now me, I was doing some research and I got to realize the then NPP government in 2021 committed 10 million Ghana cedis just only for a visibility studies, and lo and behold, there was no resource. And then here we are, the people are going through this situation. And it's at $10 million. 10 million Ghana cedis now. Somebody shame for that feasibility against, because someone can say, almost the yes studies to make sure we'll have a lasting solution to the tidal waves. Now, some part of our cry here, Kokbe say, Shiabu, Glefe, Opetekwe, and on and on. Opeko Yinano, and then I mean, look, I say, Okonina, what is here? Okonina, yeah, it's what about. So, say, a Bino committee, 10 million Ghana cedis for just a studies to make sure, say, you bet to me and a lasting solution to the tidal waves. Now, no part of a cry here. Glefene, Chemwenane, Shiabunia, Gegi, Honina, and ne, and so no air backroom. Says cannot away. Share the a voter region, which the president has to cut everything and then just go there to at least assess the situation and know how best I to me are running him. And that money I came for your turn this ask Omu. He gave out 10 million Ghana cedis.
Are you surprised?
For a visibility study to find a lasting solution to the tidal waves. Now, where is the 10 million Ghana cedis? Now, a resource been on the bar abontain and solutions been on the bar. So why are we going through this today?
Say, look, move him, one or this man could have gone there to say this. Well, when you one employee, a CEO, only that guy, what was this?
Yeah, that kita pot.
Kita pot. You employ CEO, only
without
a center.
92.3.
Say, Kofi said, say Abodemo, say Jimmy, say evil, even you can't understand them. Say that they didn't have anybody's interest. Cry. ways and means are just to make money for themselves. That's all. Akufo-Addo would have gone there and go and accuse them for coming to settle at that place. One can say, you could have even driven them away to go to even Togo. So Mukra history, because Mukra, you are not part of us. You could have done that.
92.3.
And see, media, President Mahama, the mandate, what that man, a very huge. People are also here, over transform, over changing your mind. Also here. And when I saw him at the beach of maybe in Semisi, I was very, very happy.
Yes,
that is what a president should do.
Yeah.
That's what a president should do. Did you ever see Akufo-Addo moving to say you go there and go and even insult them? Now kind of Mukra one Mumatra. Eh? Mukra and back. Because after all, you don't even vote for me. You see, so you know what we will expect this government to do. More on father for all this time round.
But it's working now.
No, maybe it is too early now. Maybe because 2 months a day, they are now putting things right. But they shouldn't joke with it. They shouldn't joke with the mandate that Ghanaians have given to them. Because who be that? Even Nkrumah time, Nkrumah not even win some massive crime for that. Well, and then also when say it meant something, and Ghanaians expect something to be done for them because sa kronona wabo omainu and doso and amama people are suffering. Well, like I said earlier, Tema, how can Tema face water
challenge
problem?
Yeah.
How? Pong is just here. So what is happening? Is it the motors? Like the motors that cannot pump or what? I can't understand. Because but population growth. Those days that we were there, no, then independent also. Nasabi, what worry? You occupy one room. Now, and what 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, only me answer say you have to plan to either relocate or to make extension to your house, so that your children will have places to a. The work I say population, so you didn't plan, or you don't plan as a parent. The population it will keep growing, and you must plan for all these things. Well, Tema, water is a big and say is it Tema? You see, so the Tema. The water issue they shouldn't joke with it at all. It should be part of their priority areas. What they want to, handle it. And so going forward, I think that Bank of Ghana now, when you staff that one, I disagree with you because. The ordinary no, you can dissolve the board, reconstitute it, and deal with the
paying people who are from 2018 been making losses onto the state.
Where
are you going to get money from to do what again? Sack them. They are not efficient. Sack all of them. Let them reapply. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. People say me, I'm overly ambitious. I sack you. You are not bearing fruit. The Bank of Ghana is not bearing fruit. You are not watering the plants.
In fact, it's a very big problem. But what I'm looking at is how this government can take action. Because when I say now, this whole thing, it will repeat itself. Because people will also feel that, after all, scratch my back, I scratch your back until next time. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Mr. Ron say one for Nancy for. Now actions are also taken. Practically say they are doing something about it. Like Sebia will be family, be a friends in a day. Now you occupy a position, a political appointment. Now you feel that be a nice time also no, they shouldn't think that way because Professor Mills thought say enka obeye you kakra obe wo hu the humobori bi Nah, but these people there, these people, this NPP for there. Look at how even some people are talking. This Abronia guy, the way he spoke, in some of 500 million, the president has taken it with some to his house or to wherever. Nah, send some who nadina. You should deal with them. Oh, you should deal with them. Never more young one who say, okay, we have questioned him, and he even still talking more. He's talking worse things. If you allow such things to happen, I said now, Namubu, your supporters, because me a full soldier. Now I'm not seeing any action being taken against this people. The only thing is that I will draw, and then and that will not help. Because they will not be spared. They will not be spared if when you're very careful and power changes. These people will never spare them. Because what they did, they packed the judiciary, the security, everywhere. Our harassing Kofu. No more by and coupon charges away in the also. Let's follow a then say due process or say then I did not to sit someone and bring us. Electoral Commission, my say, they don't know how to deal with this woman. They don't know how to deal. Look at the harm. Look at what is done to this country.
Remember what they did to Charles First people wrote petition. You don't even know that. They said that was a petition. No petitioner.
You are too good. Look, politics there. You know, say you work a budget in this one, and I
say economic forum. No, yes.
Economic
forum. Over to me any budget.
It is good. Say, we create this forum, no, and the woman are the economics now is good that they are doing it, but practically, maybe what I would advise is they should engage investors now, those who are here already and those who want to come. So if they will contact AGI, Ghana Employees Association, say, for the one fine come me, I don't have issue. But those who are bringing their money to establish, to create jobs, they should engage them. Because if you create this forum, some employers I know, but I didn't hear any of them talking. Because they are business people. And so they are looking up to you. Say, we will create a congenial environment, that will enable them to also establish, expand, employ people. And so also you engage them after all this forum now, engage them through AGI, Ghana Employees Association. No one for these investors, or the businessmen, or the company owners, meet with them, find out from them what are your problems. Because they are talking about taxes being a day of an excise duties being a day, they cannot produce and sell. Because there are other foreign products coming to compete. And these products come, over there, China, for instance, the incentives that they give to their local manufacturing companies, they produce and then bring them here, dump their product here at no much cost to those who are exporting from there. So when these goods come, it's very difficult for the Ghana, because Ghana for taxes are about 16 taxes, and they keep increasing. 2023, for instance, they just hyped a basa, and that caused the demise of most of these local manufacturing companies. And so what we expect is that if it is not too late, I don't think it is too late, because we have written petitions to the finance minister, the agri minister, the trade and the agribusiness minister. They are all aware. We have raised issues. Well, the moment here, budget overfollow the same trend. Tambia afisa budget the same. I don't know. If you say M1, say yeah, trading us. No one person would say you engage the company owners. Listen to them. One can the problems are all face. No, why understand if you say them economic forum na the general something, and people have come there with from the academia na the na the brofun or kind economical terms na the na who this at least no I'm representing. They will talk all these things, but practically we want something that can immediately affect or impact on what the factory owner na ofi say China or Sophie Namibia or Sophie Kenya or say what by establish now I don't know what plan say create an environment favorable environment obotum we produce why employ own crofo why expand the business no to what market na say we impose taxes yes what's it taxes no economy can survive without taxes. But if you overtax, and I've been saying that if your vehicle is manufactured with a capacity of 10 tons, let's say if you overload it, your truck would be at 30 tons, what will happen? The vehicle will break down. So that is it. So eventually, one person who use it, you can't use the vehicle again. So if the taxes are too many, I am here. God made betting tax. I okay can say, what's will remove betting tax? Oh yes, that is your campaign whatever. But betting tax, I don't think is going to inure to the benefit of any manufacturer. You see, you can take it off, yes. But betting tax, who brought this betting tax? Some question didn't what the tax be brain and what the but who just wanted to collapse the whole system. What kind of behavior is this? Well, and then they should sit down and look at it. Say, we are told say they are going to remove it. It was not there before. You who be that? No one buy removing it. You see, it's not even news. Removing levy was there any news because government we had just to annoy people. Who cake na they who celebrate levy. She said, Jimmy Fonqua and Omi is foolish people. Just to create more problems, hardships for the people of this country. Levy, who party. What is it? And if you are removing this thing from the system, it shouldn't be any big news. Levy, where you feel. They should look at the excise duties. Look, Kalipu. 50 when Gufadu was drinking in the car, using it to campaign, it was 50 pesos. 50 pesos. Oh. And then 5 CDs, 6 CDs.
I bought 2 when I was coming. I left it in the car.
And the parents cannot buy for their children. So the company is collapsing.
You don't know.
These are the areas that we want to touch. The sugar, the sugar. Somebody, a technical person at the Ministry of Finance, was it? The sugar, it's not good for the health of anybody. Foolish man. Now, Commander Sugar Party, why don't you stop nonsense? Argument boy, who say, Bodemo say, Jimmy was say, deliberate. You can't understand them. Sugar. Do you know the country inside your cry, anybody? Wine, sugar. So what is it? We have food every day of money. Food
and Drugs Authority.
Food and the drug are they not in this country? Why can't they verify? Why can't they make sure that they monitor and make sure that your products conform with standards? And create a problem. Now somebody will see that the finance minister there no argue say the sugar foolish man.
Jimmy, I would try.
Jimmy, what would you say? They are destroying. Look, if you are not very careful, this 24-hour thing. So one way because if the industries should suffer and collapse, this 24-hour thing, it will be like the 1D, 1F. It will never happen. The 24-hour not there. So if they want to implement it there, then they should make sure that they look at the industries, their challenges, the problems that they are facing. They should engage the factory owners and make sure that they tell them what is worrying them. No more when say, well, 24 hours. And 24 hours, it will never come because they don't want money. That last week I read something, Joy online. The trade minister said they are going to give money to anything. They don't need money. They don't need money from them. If he doesn't know, he must also be told about the 24-hour policy. Mm-hmm. It's not about that they want money. Mm-hmm. It's about the taxation, the taxes now. And we here now, nobody is asking them they should give them money. The companies that we represent, they don't need money from government because the money is not there. Create a congenial environment, create a favorable environment for them to be able to operate, expand, and then employ people. That's all. You don't because if you want taxes, then expand the tax net so that Alisa could be also taxed because he also has a way of surviving. So whatever means he's getting, he must be taxed. Everybody.
I see.
Everybody should pay taxes.
Mr. Kumsen, thank you. Alisa, I'm here.
Yo, Mr. Kumsen, the water problem, no, it can be solved if you decide to regionalize properly, separate the Accra West region, Accra East region, and break it down further into smaller units and be able to effectively manage because Tema pays water bills. They are high paying. You will not make losses. And it is possible to solve the Tema water problem. That's what me have said. That Munta Wakilu, if you are foul no, next year, asema ye walk, don't close your ears to it and don't listen to people who lead you down the drain like they led you in Damango. He's a new person, yes. The Honorable Munta Wakilu. He lost. Yes, he lost the election at Damango. So he must listen. He must listen. Your friend on fire is a new messenger. Acknowledge it because this deep information.
Go to his office.
Oh, you go to his office. Is it there? It's always around. Yesterday he was in Tema checking one or two things over there. Look, Unya and Americano, the water is possible to get to Tema into your home, and I want to see it that it comes. Economic dialogue. Unya, it's not to free ourselves. Was this economic dialogue? To which end? Was it going to seek our economic freedom forever? Were we going to take decisions from this economic dialogue that from tomorrow going, we'll be able to produce our own things from inside here and depend on it, use it for ourselves, create food, put it on our table, grow our own food and eat it? Can we be able to, our own clothing? We are talking about Ghana man. After Ghana man, nothing else. Can we wear our clothing 12 months in a year, 7 days in a week? African clothing, our Ghanaian clothing. Can we do it? Shelter. Can we reduce the cost of shelter in this country? Can we provide more housing for people to sleep in? Can we do it as a nation? Those things, they are questions that are beckoning action. We want to see action that will resolve these things. If food costs go down, clothing costs, transportation costs, shelter costs go down, workers will not agitate for anything. No. It will be smooth. Salary increment will come with it will come with smoothness. But look at where we are currently as a nation. Every time we go and meet, they say experts. Me, I majored in economics and I stopped at the first degree level. Because when I read deep into the subject, I saw that it was too theoretical to solve our problems when it came to real life experiences. Take for instance, in the morning, you want to eat cocoa. I want to eat kenke. Somebody wants to eat wache. Somebody again wants to eat fufu. And in economics, they say, oh, you measure the utility. Then they check expenditure and costs and other things. Your taste is what determines your money, how you spend it, your taste. So how do you manage your taste? How do you manage your taste? Can an economic theory manage or control your taste? I'm asking you. So economic in the classroom and in those big halls and those people. Kwame Penny has been around for a long time, for so many years. Go ask him what economic problem he has been able to solve. Go ask him. I'm telling you, monetary policy or what? I'm talking about or fiscal policy. Kwame Penny, he has been around for years. And there isn't Setepe there. Go ask him what economic practical economic solution he has been able to put across. Economics, like I said, look, it's very difficult to manage it. Very, very difficult. It's not talk in the air conditioned rooms. They didn't allow some of us to go there to go and ask questions. It's not complete. Others had to get crash. Me, I wanted to go and know how we will use the 2/3 majority that we have to secure our economic independence as a nation. That is what we need. That when we produce gold, we will have the first use of our gold here in this country for whatever we want to do with it. When we produce cocoa, we will have the first use of the cocoa for whatever we want to do with it. That whatever we find here, lithium, we will have the first use for the benefit of our people. What is happening now? Did they talk about going to change the constitution to secure our economic independence? Or still, is that Obika Benkum Jari Nifana Jari? So you run to IMF, you cause problems, you push ghost names on your payroll, Samandin, Nani Panam, no near Juma, near to Yasamaika, Bosumi Biana Samai, or no Jessica, Nani Panam, no near Juma, or near Diano Bedio, ni baby da. And so Samain the payroll, so near Shano. You are here in this economy. Those loopholes, you don't block it. You go for economic dialogue, it will be empty. If you don't punish people who take our money, one city, Auditor General report, VPA, now go for first guys, you go to you. Then, you see Zidi or one. You and some money ko Juma to the tune of the Wafano. Or yes, you can buy a near Jano. Near the Nipa go prison. You lose to a sika. Now it's a canon, so alternative use we won't get to use it for it. I wish them well. I've seen that what we need to do is to integrate the workings in our economy. The ministries, there must be linkages with what we do. You understand? We must be able to coordinate our activities as a single economy and work in tandem with each other. One CEO or baby, another CEO or baby. Instead of they working together and coming with innovative ideas to bring an economic proposal that can raise funds to do whatever they do. When you camp. How can nations move on like that? Look at Okovanapoy, Dr. Okovanapoy. He still has not been appointed to any position. When he was AMA boss, do you know what he did? He quadrupled the revenue that we're collecting at the AMA. After that, in just 1 year, he did it. That quadrupling of it, he didn't stop there. He again quadrupled what he had quadrupled. So we got 16 times revenue as we were getting when he entered as AMA boss. And look at what he did. He went to America and convinced the American government to be able to release US aid money for us to build our millennium schools. That is innovation. That is thinking in the office. You understand? Bringing economic return through education to your people. You find people big position, you don't know what they are doing. Look, economically, what are we doing with our army? Our security agencies, what are we doing with it? When it comes to food security, I'm asking you, food security, where are the farms? I'm soldier for more food. Maybe some say, "Ne, come about." Can the army provide food from their stock for us? Go to America and go and check. First quality rice, the year one, The Idibakwa silo, year one, the man soldier for. Normally, year 2, it goes to a silos. Year 3, it goes to a silo. Year 4, Africa, Comodium, Somalia, and Numuyin Famreum. Yes, they have stored food to that extent. Yet, what are we doing to store food, to even grow food, store some, process some, and use some for the citizens? Well, there's no plan. Then you come to housing too. The cost of housing, block, cement, board, who person will see will die. Why? What is it? Can't we continue doing the temes? Can't we continue doing the dansomans? Can't we continue doing the quadrasos and other things? What is it? Your basic school diner teacher only housing. There's no now there's no housing attached to the schools. JMC obey Saturday and flow. Look, if you don't get your education right, you never get your economy right. And that's where I'll end my argument on. Check America. Go to Taiwan, the Asian countries. Go to Singapore. I was bringing my book. I left it in a taxi from third world to first world. I bought it yesterday. 120 Ghana. Lee Kuan Yew. Yes, how he struggled through positive, moral, convincing leadership to bring his country out of nothing. They had no natural resources. All they had was, a port that naturally could birth for shipbuilding.
Okay.
And they decided to invest in it. What are we doing with ours? We are talking about our 24-hour economy. When is it coming? The Arab Development Bank has promised to help government to, get investments, to get things that will get it, get started. They have also, I think, started with a licensing authority for those organizations and companies that want to come in. Yes, we want to join the 24-hour economy. But I want to agree with Mr. Kumsi that individuals who have invested their money in manufacturing, in production, government should have a special incentive for them. Charlie, Omo Boka, the private people, do you know how they suffer? There's pilfering and stealing on factory floor. You have products. They lose most of their investments through so many leakages. Yet, look at the taxes on them. Every time they have to go and look for new money and come and invest. Go to the big six factories over here. Go and ask them. Calipo ya can one send. Go and drinks factory. I'm produce drinks there. Go show them how no bread. Even water. Those producing water, they have to make some of their workers non-permanent in order that they'll be able to beat cost of production. Charlie, let's get real low.
Bro,
And there's a big gap, a very big gap between our rural economies and our urban economy.
Thank you.
We are hewers of wood and drawers of water when it comes to the rural economy. Yen yen kofa cocoa ni mremu, na mon koton, na mu wia mu fasika ni tra kra cocoa board, na mu ndi. Yen yen fa gold ni mremu na mon koton mu wia, mu discard gold board PMMC. Aha. No more visika no mo fa mayen mo fa back to a crasi yen do yen fa bro no mrem wa kra mo ton wia you don't bring the investment back through fertilizer and other things so that rural living conditions will also be effective. O schedule so for yata ne papa 80s no mo o see rural living conditions no episode really mind say crasi asitrem ayeden ne ba ebedi finance minister years on hwe de wa yen crasi omo koko sika kra no ye hu ba bi e wo ye de tua koko ni ka ni aji koko na be sia kontana samade.
All right, mami
jade sajo so for ata ba.
That's okay. Mami na say Alista. It's okay. Alista Tyro Nelson, a senior political analyst. Now what in Kano, Yepe Hunu Jumedi yesterday and Saturday morning weekend review. What Ora Abraham Kumsing, Secretary General Ghana Federation of Labour, and Jonathan Alamaso, Financial Secretary Edma Adam GH. Let's read a few of the messages and also about Albert Mia joining on 0541825106. So the message in back in Canada and their mouth. Thank you guys for watching me this morning, especially Josie Solutions. I need to advertise for you, so that I can get more money. And Nana Obrempon, you said you are watching us all the way from Canada. I'll say good admission, good submission from Alista Tyro and Mr. Kumsing. I think when your fans will happen, as the consider also too hard, but anyway. From Kwame J.Du over Ojobi, I'll say good morning to you all. I'll say I strongly support what Mr. Abraham Kumsing's submission. I'll say this NDC government under President Mahama is not here to joke. But if we joke with those corrupt NPP officials who have stolen our monies and walking around and rather making noises over this 2 months of the NDC government, then the NDC will fail. If they fail to arrest and prosecute those corrupt people, then some of us, especially the youth, will turn against the NDC in 2028. Oral is delaying too much. That is according to Kwame J.Du all the way free Ojobi. And what they are now Paul Amenozoji or say Citizen Coffee, good morning to you and your panelists. In fact, they are speaking very, very fantastic. President JDM must dissolve some of the workers in the Bank of Ghana. They are pulling Ghana back. Listening to you all the way from Amasaman constituency. I say Bank of Ghana nipa egwu on those undissolvable. Now, Musa Elwoko Florida Sentimental. I say good morning, citizen, and your panelists. Citizen, are we to continue eating akukufus, second-hand fowls, being imported from another country? No. As JDM finding a solution to help the poultry industries, the opposition NPP were rather referring to him as Nkoko Enketenkete. As he said, as Independence Day speech, JDM don't mind them. Continue doing the good work for Ghanaians. We, the branch executives, will use our knowledge and strength to help implement all your program as the 24-hour economy is concerned. Regards to Dr. Samuel Fusampafo and also to my brother in the studio, Alista Tyro Nelson, with you, citizen. We a Musa Ewa Koforidia sentimental. And I pay or day aba I say good morning, Kofi. Please, if the Bank of Ghana have 11 million workers, then it means chair per head is $1 million. Please, which country will entertain this in the world? Tell our country leaders to sit up. And most of the NPP voted. That is why we voted the NPP out for them. Thanks for reading my messages. But your name. We Tete Brentford and we are back. I'll say how can we use $11.1 million just for furnitures for the Bank of Ghana? Looking at our status as a country, it's like we're joking. Say agro akunya o yede akunya. I say, I am citizen. Good morning. I am suggesting to the Constitutional Amendment Committee to consider removing any discretionary powers in the Constitution because of how it has been abused over the few years under the previous regime. For example, appointment for the number of ministers, ranking members being allowed to ask nominees unlimited number of questions, which have all been abused irresponsibly. Asanko, at the way for Santa Maria. And what they about, I say hi, bro, citizen. Good morning. My regards to Abraham Kumsing. Tell that man I love him too much. I say, Okasa, blank, Okanisa. Thank you very much. We take James Ewo Tinkong Equiapim and I pay they aba. I say good morning, citizen. Good submission by your panelists. The reason for which massive Ghanaians voted for NDC was the erstwhile NPP appointees were into corruption practices, and it is JDM who can prosecute them. Said Ewo Ebuakwa North. I think to and then enjoy more submissions in the power. I say good morning, Kofi. Citizen, please ask Jane Mensah why is it that they don't regard we temporary election officers, but she went to Parliament to say after election they immediately give us our little allowance. That is a lie, because up to now she hasn't paid us our money. We every boache our kofrodia or say electoral commission if we say you to about we omo electoral commission money na adwuma no omo say ebesi ne omo sika no entria ye to us electoral commission say sika no be bia wo bia onfa de aka no amfambra messages ndo so me dia kire enti focus please be my focus kakra 0 because we will ultimate text it and the only means you can do is contribute through the phone in segment 0303 402 862 and 0303 4029 04 na also enti badwinchira o komwa edi bebre na ene anope morning
Champion one
and champion Yahuza Debu
ya mpefuna Abraham Kusu se John Draman mama biti pa anka oma papa no empeno inimwenimu ya gosa osha papa ne kasta utu Ghana eja na kuma pono so no wonder say all kasta utu say out to be and obia NDP etu no enye ye na ye no omo ya ma abembu ya ba na oposapo de ya mitral me ma ka se ya me den you may say say no oposapo fu dia ka me ya wo me policy o jari a me jari na mitral pa na unim che oba isirigia ye ka NPP criminals e wudi fu she won trend that dey ko for be na NPP you to ni na ko point Minna me come to South me expect say it's work for my life Mahama no na yen ko fu from la kwa because can yes sir yes plan now for most 6 months say mu ye gede kwa mu mpa ku ya sa ta ko won ke ye ko hu wo ya ye ku it is for how long so you be say some maintain power ye kwa ye name system ye ja nya so and this is actually ya do and me ya to just say what ABC yeah na ko fu e gudu fu e ye do like na mo to suma tu di akɔfo nipa bɔne fo mo so wo mɛka jɔ mama wan
ma me na se yahuza hello well I'm said hello Kafra hello sorry hello e patro e fra so ka se free
David the free asin manso asin south
o se o asin south asin manso yo David yetio
yo pen kunsin pen alista no ba ko no ma ya je papa onda Ghana imbira so say ni guy there asem no ya kan you I like the way I'm contribution and say if aben o twemi kono wabo kona na chede unya ewe chi kwa no yetu yemu say we kono koso ti e so pen Mahama mampen the way I just know from Johnny no from say hey na we pa that one ye le wo mutu we dinu kofo for if no we John e fi no from Johnny no from we as a singa and pele follow so jai na some kofo nya ba bi si a amon time my kan cha Ghana for there na e permanent one more to church in majority parliament ya sia wa more over 1.7 million votes busu da ye ne opese oli ye na en pese obma ba sia ka chele ne omu ya sa asem no kra na mo lo mo ye lo as
na me na se asin man so fo nyina no pay ye chichi mo ye mamo happy weekend opening match
yeah this is
the from so ka se free
plus on vote
o say
the day plus some free vote
region prosper yetio
me chia wo panyi kono nyina mo ho na me chia mo me asamba kuna me say me brother ba kuna ho no we ni secretary ma anko kuna
Adam GH yeah
okasambe asemo no kanu ya nkore Mahama abaye choma no ko bakwa on baba nya adwuma bia ko chi sanko funa mu diska mu chiu mu edituma 2028 Izima NDC on to me down for voter 2028 behind this papa because the can go funa mu digana no ni sikakito unji sikana mu chi ko funtu omu esra Mahama eti go bonye ta aba 2028
medase chia voter region for kan ka omo mpano ho a omo ho akoka dwemu na tidal waves no nyame nka mo ho na o chichiro mo re my morning
Libla
opening for Tay James
my phone like flat and then ko na me saka wo show so
Tay opening for wa het yo
no come ho abeni ade mo na ho din say I don't find it oh Libla ni tiata mo bosa ko be obi ya ka nyame nsi na no ka no ho no na ho din ne mom ya dem mo ya ho to TV na mu ya ya selebo
say mama I want to TV wo I want to TV ebeba dodo ebeba enche bia na mkwan so ba
ni ya kan fo no we are the staff this is for every kan ya no ama Mahama di e ya sei di omu ye light no ama Mahama di ya sei tem bia no kaka no bi no la so kaka no bi ebi no Mahama sa ba bi we so say that sa ba bi o aba sa sa ba bi ti ya sele kan ni bi mo we fa ma ye ya da mo asenso no le kwana ya kon wa se ni no se ya de nyami cha bo bu su ye ma ye nti ami fa hu message ma bi mi ye no
yo and that's it sir at least there is a result mama want to TV to do but obetumi follow yen so all the social media handles at say TV na be a ocean na I want to FM official level Facebook and Facebook oko X and I said oko TikTok obenya ahonto 92.3 FM na ninyina so wetimi a follow you in life wo ho let me be 2 3 more course na yako esanse brother yaibe opening your frown so cause free.
Hello, citizen.
Yes, mommy.
Good afternoon.
Morning. We are still in the morning.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Malcolm is saying.
Namina do me hui na also
Oh, Madam was say. Nipa mienu na omo office ho no. Asemanu kware na omo kan. NPP for me de ansana yebe tu kwa minkuma na miniati. NPP for mu nye ni papa o. Omu ye kromfo mu kromfo. Akufo ado wo tisa ni papa ye kromfo ama. Wotiti ni pa no su kromfo. Omu owe ni NPP for mu ho ni. Ye nsusu Ghana wo ye nvi Ghana for wo mu nko a. No nyakufo nso be tua wonka. Ye mu bai mi frenada. Onti wo mu ni nyina ekopum akufo ado ankasa so even ni vice president kromfo no nukura bokro no ti akufo ado munti wo mu ni nyina ohu omu so omu hu nyefe na so mutimu o tin omu ma ye mbre wa fo no ye bre wo kro wi ni papa mi sraw citizen mun ka se jem se so kromfo ba ufie na owia wo se nyefi otina wo ba wo hwe ya wo du wankasa beka no anti mi srenada NPP for kromfo no wo tiri wo mu ni nyina emma obeni bawo yin tiri wo mu ni nyina wo mo amu wo ECG tambia yenya dum so wa ha ECG for water waste for ye kika ho land commission for mpeni for mo ni nyina mo ya NPP for
yes, we da say chia busuafo nyina wi yi me fa bakope na ye na ye de si ma me fa last one meba because I ECG for ampamo mo MY because hwe on say ma me fa kore mi opening your fro say
hello
yes your fro say oh, free dunkwa on offing. Yo, open it you.
Me pamucho, musician, station be a jam on the pan, Yamaya, you used to motivate Brepao. And some station here 92.1. As by musician, the pan, in some Moya Mukina, your Brepans and the Mekasa two from Motia. Obuza nsema mukenyi na ye ni anti esema mumbo madina munye huduma ya wana
ye be yan wadwuma sa NPP for mu share da yes time e ba beto aba no se de be yan sepa ye kan nyina bujantie e no bie station tare station nyina ho NDC station nyina sa no mo ye no ba nyame nti ankosi aga but ye waka ye be hwe na to wana mo why
yo yes
me that's wo dunkwa no fin ye that's opening na abusia yedi besi na mpedifo sami apna afe yakọ na ECG wo se mama na ni call na nyesa obeji dimbone eno na MPP ni bi ai mama ba idum so ba na se mama ba da ben mama no ba na osundum so fini no de bai if we don't educate these people well adia MPP for ayo wan say idim say dum so na de betimi nya mama enti on say nyoma asana wono ko but since I wanted to so mama na oteso ntu na mbode so mbode bebo but me want to 2 months in just abaye obaye enti mama na oba no dum so fifi no de bae sometimes nyamala to fa na mama bae ye dum kania how Alistair no happy enko
yeah last time you know me baha no I made a mistake on the Volta region on my water name flow no I got wrong information about who was the cause of it so in my submission I made a mistake and then we have seen the cause of the problem and I've said engineer Francis Lamte who is the chief manager in the Volta region has been able to resolve the water crisis in the Volta region.
I see.
The hard work, the team he put together, and how he led the charge. More grit to his elbow. His sister Faustina Lamte, also National Deputy Coordinator, School Feeding. And he say, Yaba power. The NDC must look for Francis Lamte, wherever he is, and bring him to the center of Ghana Water, because he understands the NDC's policy of water security better than most of the people who are there. I want to salute Mr. Boti Beidu, who has also been made acting DMD in charge of production. Operations, Ghana Water. Yes, we have to find. Bring me in the morning one day of this week coming, and let me do Ghana Water for you to understand. We can make profits. We can run it as a business successfully and run it successfully too as a social welfare. And I think that we can be the best water suppliers in the whole West Africa, in the whole of Africa, if we decide to change things. The Water Institute, let's get it to work to make profit. The G water plants, we can establish some in Tono, in the Upper East region, and then in the Ashanti region. And then you lose the losses, line losses of water.
You have just a minute. 12 very much. Jonathan, thank you very much. We're making way for news out of National Investigation Bureau. Takes former Deputy Director of NSA, Gift Owari, Mensa, into custody. Denies her bail. And to check Gift Owari, Mamenwa. One more din Samadin Ashe, National Service Mono, Yachino. Almost on bail, almost there, you want to be money bail.
Bank of Ghana.
Demuche.
They should look for him.
The managing director for Ghana Water, Honorable Muntawakilo, if you call him, he does not pick. And he wants to handle Ghana Water like he handled Amango. If we do that, we'll lose our water security policy as a country. I'm telling you, if you call him, he does not pick his line. And he's new on the job.
Is it personal?
It's not personal. I have information. I have done my research. I've used 7 years to find out about Ghana Water. And so we have to share notes. What are we talking about? We want to improve the place. If you don't know, let me give you a certain history about Ghana Water Limited. It's on basis of business and social welfare that we operate water. We are 68 years. Ask me water services delivery in Ghana. Where are we with it? And how can we improve upon it? So one, there are so many things that we must do that should bring profit to Ghana Water. They have a water institute. Can you imagine? There's a rector, but they don't pay school fees. They don't even advertise in the newspapers as to who and who qualifies to go to that school. You don't know who does the recruitment. Meanwhile, that school, like any other institute, can bring money to Ghana Water Limited if properly managed. Like all institutes are managed with a rector, you pay school fees, and then when you finish, there's a job waiting for you. That is the Ghana Water Limited trying to take it up. Many water companies too that can employ you. They must look at that institute. Then they have a bottling plant. Have you drank their water before? Gin Water. Do you know of Gin Water? You don't know of Gin Water. Yeah. It's so surprising. They are just here in Pong, and the water is far better than most of the ones, the brands you see, because they say there's double aeration. As the water flows from Akosombo down to Pong, it picks up oxygen along its routes. So it's very tasty. Gin Water is not on the market. So in Crawford from December, they have a CEO who is being paid. They have workers who are on salary just like Ghana Water Limited people. They are not operating it like Belacqua is operating theirs in order to rake in profits and push their product on the water market. There's a lot of demand for water in Burkina Faso, a lot of demand for water in Cote d'Ivoire from Ghana. Go and find out. And we have dams. If you go to the Via Tono, go to the Upper East region, the Tono River, you can dam it. You can because it's clean. Even when it rains, you can ask anybody, ask any engineer. If it rains there, the water is so clean that you can also bottle that side from Tono Dam and then sell to Burkina and rake in foreigners. You have a CEO sitting in Accra here in Pong calling himself a CEO of Gin Water under Ghana Water Limited, taking salary, but not thinking. It's not thinking. I'm telling you, they're not meeting their production lines. They take orders from politicians. So, Koha. Meanwhile, that science you say the Sinsio Bia or Ghana, if we decide. If you go to the Ashanti region, don't overbe and barricade it down, we can also bottle some of it and sell to the middle sector. What are we doing? Well, wasting time with the water resources and opportunity we have with water and what we can do with it in order to raise income, raise more money to be able to sustain the efforts of Ghana Water Limited. Currently, if it's not Korea Exim Bank that is helping us, it is the World Bank. We cannot generate income here from water and be able to look after what our water needs or water services after 68 years of independence. What are we talking about? Look at the headworks at Wager. Since about 8 years now, 4 of the filters are spoiled. 4 of the filters are spoiled.
Wager.
That is why there's water rationing all over Accra East, Accra West, Accra Main, all over.
Yes. Maybe I will cry water.
Yes, there's a big problem. Why should you are close to Pong? Water should flow. Why? And here people pay. Residents here will want to pay for water because your tanker services and everything that come, you pay for it. So you are even ready to pay for the company to make more money. Go and look at the losses they make when they produce 100%. When they produce this bottled water, full one, they lose 51% of it through leakages, through stealing and other things, and the company just earns revenue from only 49%. And we are sitting here, we are 68 years, and we are watching. Look, Muntawakili, if you don't pick my call, let me tell you, you fail like you failed in Daman. Yes, I'm telling you, there's problem at Ghana Water. Raise your head, Muntawakilu, and listen. We have information to share with you to make the place a better place. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Listen.
Me, I've seen some people.
I was sought to find out why he is not picking your call.
Oh, what are you talking? I've not called him once. I've sent him messages on WhatsApp. He's not responding. Like that. Look. Senya Kakayakra Odilusu Damankono. He was becoming arrogant and withdrawing from his people. I've done research about him. I'm telling you.
Don't be personal.
I'm not being personal. Ghana water no baby I will free our better nsuo no wahano. And see this nsuo no ye bibi. Nsuo Ghana has water all over. But we are running at a loss. Check Ghana Water Limited. Why? What is it? Sewuni Muso Mami Kantreo. Afenyo Martin Koti board chairman. Ewo Ghana Water no. They fraudulently took people on. Mr. Peku is alive. He was the HR then. They forged the letter of Clifford Brymer in order to take in more people. They didn't take them at the junior management level. They took them at senior management level. So today, after 7 years, some of them have turned to chief managers. They were brought in by Afenyo Marking, political appointments.
Ghana Water.
They photocopied the managing director's letter that had gone out for employment and used it to give people employment. Yes, the case is still there. Mr. Peku is still alive. He's in the Western region. You can chase him and find out Afenyo Marking when he was board chairman. He himself, his company, Excel, he gave himself contracts, transportation contracts, haulage contracts, Ghana Water. Go and check. Do you know how the place has been run down? So we need a serious and focused person to be there and listening. If you don't have the experience, listen to people who have gone there and found out what is going on. Me, I'm lucky to see some people in that service. I've seen that they have appointed Mr. Boti Beidu as deputy managing director in charge of operations. That guy, solid guy, firm guy. I hope that you bring his knowledge to bear where he is to make Muntawakilu succeed. Then the other time too, I sat here to complain about the regional manager for the Volta region because they were not getting water. He had been portrayed as the scapegoat for not giving the people water, not knowing he was not the cause of it. The cause of the problem was not Engineer Francis Lamte. It was Peter Devier, the guy who was in Accra in charge of operations. He has been removed. Francis Lamte. Yes, he's a saint. When he on your accident, that's why he was not going to work. But as he has resumed to work with a team of engineers, he has been able to restore water to Volta region. Sani Pano, with his idea, is a geodetic engineer, civil engineer. Omoni yesi Ediomo Bakra city head office because he has a vision for the company. You speak to him and see the ideas that flows through his mind, and he was being suppressed in the past 8 years because he was seen as NDC. Now one kasane say who say no ma bebre atosi. One, affirmative action. Let's go there. Sometimes I like to do these things. If you look at affirmative action in the security agencies, you take those, and even under the Ministry of Interior, you have the police service. Dabena or Babedi police service name. I'm asking you, apart from Ms. Robertson or Actic Accra, where are the women even in line in the police service to take over? A man who actually go and check. Then you go to the Ghana Immigration Service. Some Ministry of Interior. I say, yeah, this is 68 years. We're talking about affirmative action. You see 30%. Immigration, or bar wall next in line, or number 8. We're asking these questions because Oko prison service, they are also under the Ministry of Interior. Prison service, they have a woman who is number 3. She should have been number 2. But NPP for no so or NDC into a program or Sudan or by near the Obiashan and him. She's the senior most person after Isaac Ejiri. Isaac Ejiri, 63 years, 3 years contract. So this is a time to bring the woman. Madam Lawyer Patience Bafo Bonnie. My Bonnie in Ghana Prison Service. She say, oh no, number 3. But the one name as number 2, no salute or any senior. Or him say, mamini any senior. Until John Mahama should look at affirmative action. This 68 years, it should reflect in our national life. Go to the Ghana National Fire and Rescue Service. Or buy in the Nimda. And your man is soldier your kitchen yard. And your man is no animal. No patch him so buy on to me Nimda. At the assembly Kano. Madame Mausi Sapon, Okohwa. You find her. She's the deputy chief fire officer. She's number 2. She's ready to serve, willing. She's capable. She's gone through the service. Wa find your memu. Ne wa be do pempenso no wono and say edu no so a me ma yen ka say oba. No, affirmative action. We should push them there and give them opportunity to also succeed. Oba no under interior. There are other places you talk about the army. You talk about SEPS is under Ministry of Finance. I don't know whether they'll bring a woman there, but I think a woman will be a best collector of our taxes than the men have been doing. Men man, all the tax in the show, some you have fun, may catch the go and check the record. So you have to look for a woman. I've been saying this since. SEPS, oh, it's better. It's better than. Please see ask Waba. If you worry about can for Johnny. Please, I beg you. When it comes to corruption between women, please. When it comes to corruption between women and men, the men are worse off. Please, I beg. So that's what I'm saying. Affirmative action. I want to see it. I was not happy with the celebration. Yes. Uniska, you cannot call even a drink on your birthday. Yes. That is clearly what this 68th independence anniversary showed us. They did 10 years, no near to Kwame Nkrumah. So we didn't celebrate the 10th anniversary. 1982, near did 25 years. You see, Niska now rolling a Tuli man, 6 March, or so on the 25th anniversary. Into Sadia no Wayabra Bomu, Ghana no, Yadi Bibiashe Muse, oh, we'll find an excuse. And like Mr. Kusi was alluding to, it should be like this forever. Other than that, who are we deceiving? Yes, we must be modest forever.
It should be like this forever.
Yes. Look, the regional ministers' residences, also regional residences, ministers, more regional residents. What you do is that you bring the best school children, about 50 in that region. Yes, from rural to the minister's place. Get the army or police in that region to do some parade in the region. Small one. And so that it's symbolic. And yeah, dear. Ubekase Oko says Kebi. Though me, I supported the rotation. Rotation, no, Sika Amobodi, no, 15 million. No, Udi were independence squad 20 million. No. Yes. So listen, no, the rotation, you know, it took the independence celebration directly to the communities and to the people. There was an advantage of it. Almost see centers, Ukoho, even in Kofodia, they had to bring up the youth center in order to host the independence celebration. See that structure, no, an investment. They had to do roads in Ho to get. So as for me, I believe that the rotation. Yeah, let's find a way. It's our birthday. If we donate the money on that day to do things, projects, it's essentially American, so that the nation will benefit a day after or two after the independence celebration. Then I think that we must do that. But send this 68 years. What is about our education? So what is education services delivery in Ghana? Are we giving our children the best? Look at how the world is catching up on technical and vocational education. Are we there yet? Look at our educational foundations as a people. Go to the public schools, the public primary schools, and go to the public JHS. How are they being managed? How well are they being funded? And look at the quality of the children we turn out there. It's free, everybody enters. So how are we testing them? We are 68 years. We are not competing in turnout. It's a global village. So what quality education are we giving to our children 68 years after independence? Then the quality of our healthcare. Our recent finance minister has run away that there's no hospital to take care of his ailment. Yes, and we are 68 years. Is it true or false? Don't we have some hospitals that can take care of? We have quaternary hospitals. Go to UGMC. They are 4th stage. We have tertiary hospitals. They are 3rd stages. You understand? It is not like 1981 when Rollins hit his school and then he will hear him. Yeah, Tamo Yeku 1981. He said Liman had turned our hospitals into graveyards, our clinics into death transit camps, where men, children, women die daily because of basic lack of equipment and drugs. And then it is not the situation. Yes, we have something. We can do more. Agenda 111 came in. Instead of wisdom, they decided to use Akpache tricks. You understand? Instead of applying wisdom. Yes, you have 400 million cities. You have $400 million. You want to build 111 hospitals. What do? Why don't you build 20 and complete it? So that your legacy is there. That you also into out of 111, where's 20, where's Tuyaka, Aka 91, Ubin Subetuaso. But then you share the money among contractors. Go and look at some of the stages where it is. We can never get money to complete them. Some of them are even in areas where they are competing with parish hospitals. Some of the, are mission hospitals. Because there was a policy. I think the JM had that policy that if there's a mission hospital in a certain area, there was no need for government to go in and build a hospital. What you do is that you go into that compound and then give them more facilities to be able to take care of the population that they are doing already. So, when I look at the nation at 68 years, you ask me more Bob. Our resource wealth, you 2 year gold, you the 3% penny a mine. Act 703, we must use the 2/3 majority at 68 years to abolish Act 703 in our mining laws. A chronodie mra, I did 2 year laws numu. And Amagalam say say Aman say you can go and check the effect of that law after it was passed. I'm telling you, I've traveled to rural areas, I've stayed in the rural area before. Yeah, you go to me masasimu. Then pass Act 703 because it's in commercial quantities. Once it is found, government takes over. And then they pay you for what you have on it. Say, brother, they value the plantain in Fiedo Edi, near Mauska. Say, Coco, ne was the near Bobo, said 30 years out to me as high as 10 pesos. 10 pesos, as high as 10 pesos. It be now 1 peso for 3. If you are near Coco, ne free so. Now, home, farmstead, you evaluate near Mausika to Ebi, near the Pamo, near the machines Abesio. You don't have knowledge in the mining of the gold, so you are not part of that industry. You are not going to earn. Meanwhile, who assassin? So now, if the Chinese come with geodetic maps and tell me directly that they have located gold on my farm, I should come and tell government in Accra. I'm asking you, should I? I would not. I also cheat because the politicians sit in Accra and steal money, and I'm not afraid. Obiko, you have already 7 years. We are 68 years, or no, they don't prison. And the politicians to me, yes, cannot move. I don't understand why we cannot bring the laws of 1979. You see, that caught up with Achampo and Co. Though they didn't have the right of defense, we should find something and put it in the constitution to deter people from taking 1 cedi, 1 peso of national funds. Look, I'm telling you, even the independence celebration Muslim market cost. Do you know what that 1 million Ghana cedis can do for somebody, or in some community, or in some places? I'm telling you. Some places they just need 200,000 Ghana cedis to fix something, maybe some water system to give the whole community water. You understand? So, like I've said, I'm not impressed where we are as a nation, an oil-producing country like Ghana. Look at the Western, look at Takrade. Maybe show my no more oil or my sassimu. Why? Don't you know what is happening in Ogoni land? Oil or my sassimu na munishi na microphone to oil. Let's find a way to have a share in the oil. We have to test majority. Let's go to parliament and cause that we will not take the percentages the oil companies are giving us. Now we say we withdraw the US aid. Now they also say who minerals no chiti we do to be down because it's equal and opposite, and it's common sense. Your gold will not take 3% again. We'll take 55%. Look, a champion did it. A champion in the 70s. Mubo very intelligent guy.
Alisa, you see the thing is technology what did say even and then a problem because one say oil say gold but you don't know how to extract these things.
Oh, we'll buy the technology. Mr. saying we'll buy
the machine.
Two year near to
David no
assuming me kita me bro na me the bow a bro machine me the bow machine so now nya me bro ni wi a wo fa bro no Ofa bro, me tia o kada ma from bro, they akoye me doc no.
Me play.
No, we will not allow it. They don't allow that. There's gold in America. They don't allow you to come for their gold. They find a way to get it out. They
have the means. They have the technology.
We can borrow it's somewhere. We can buy technology. We can borrow technology.
From where?
Why? Is it not on the international market?
You will pay for it.
We'll pay for it.
In the end,
and we will not lose. When we pay for it and we use it to dig our gold, and the gold is ours, and we are taking the gold to the international market. Remember, we are the second producer. So if our gold is not on the market, there's a big gap. The prices will rise because there will be demand for the gold which is not there. We have it here. Mr. Gumsi Power, what are we talking about?
We have not planned well. You see, for instance,
that is it.
Remember,
I agree with you if you say we have not planned well.
Kwame Nkrumah, why did he build that
refinery?
Silos, no, even cocoa.
Okay, yes, for cocoa. In order to keep the cocoa so that in favorable prices we sell the prices of cocoa.
We haven't prepared, for all these things. That
now that we are 68 years, we are going to 70. We have to test majority. We should do something. We should shake. No, if you don't do that, we are here complaining that Trump has taken his US aid money. So what? We should take our gold money. Let's take the oil money. Go and renegotiate.
Many ways to
yes, we have to do it.
Look,
we have to test majority. If we don't do it, that's what I've said. That's why I wanted to enter the army when I finished the university. I am my home team. I'm telling you. I am my home team. I'm telling you. How can we give our resources cheaply to these people and go cap a hand in begging them to give us peanuts? That is not helping us to transform our country.
We haven't developed our capacity.
68 years after independence.
No, listen. Say uno bi kwakoku. No one say no say uwe say sa giant there. Say motu me na kwan unless e bia menya. I dey say weapon bi na bi sa. Now who ni bi uni anything to fight the guy. So if he will beat you. So what I'm saying is that Trump is doing what he do because Trump he knows that they have the capacity, they have the resources
to do what?
So
America has what? America, they depend on the world. They depend on all of us on the world. Look, I'm telling you, if Trump likes, he should keep his US aid money. Let's all of us withdraw our trade with America. People will run. I'm telling you.
No, but
who is America? Who is America?
They can survive.
Please.
No.
They can survive what? Please,
But
it's planning that has sent them there. We have failed to plan in these 68 years and we don't believe in ourselves. Why did we go for independence?
How do you believe in yourself?
Yes, we don't believe in ourselves. Kwame Nkrumah said we can manage our own affairs. Then after a group of people, soldiers, some of them they were carpenters like Ike Kotoka. Some of them they entered as mechanics like J. Ankra. Kwame Nkrumah decided to take them to school to make them the officer cadet corps when we got independence. Even look at the police people, JWK Ali and Co, J. Inunu, who were they?
So
he took them. Abroad from Sankrofone to Nkrumah no. Nimpeni for no more dear Chiraba no masho mine say or mining conform no. Abroad from and we as this young generation we cannot continue like that. I'm saying that we have opportunity.
Resource, that's the problem, the human resource. So in a way you are even confirming that we lack the capacity to embark on this battle.
We have intentionally we have the capacity. We have intentionally sold our birthright to be where we are. This one is not independence. So you are celebrating dependency. How they have locked you in an international quagmire of who will go to who need technology. They are 2 3. How is that possible? Go and chew your technology. I'll keep my gold in my earth. Yeah, into that. Me catch you. Me cocoa now never bring it to the international market unless I process it. Why? Are you the only person who makes machines to process cocoa? What are we talking about? No. Let's get real. Chinese people have come here and they are growing cocoa. They are processing cocoa. Let's get real. No, we have to test majority, man. You have to test majority. What are you using it for? Go and use it to go and make effective laws in the constitution to secure the economic security of this nation. You have lithium. You say you are giving a 10%. Who says what? The lithium should stay there. The person who will come and dig will give the person 20%. It will not cost us more than 20% of the value of the lithium to pay off the person and keep the 80% and take it to the international market as and when we want to. A bit of a example which is very simple. Me, my dear, my bro, me say me send you no doctor. Me dey buy machine so me nyam way I say me fa morning ma o dia. I'll pay you for your services.
Okay,
pay you for your services and go and do my cake. If you can, you see the price.
I will not use my machine to grind.
You don't have. You are not the only person who has a machine. Oh, I'll get it elsewhere.
Okay, at least mame now I say. No, I'll give you your time.
No,
I'll give you
finance. Indigenous people,
okay.
Ghanaians.
Okay, so at least so focus on the issue. Don't be distracted.
Oh, I'm not.
Now we'll go.
Oh, Mr. Kusi is my papa. He can come into my argument. That one, I have no problem. He wants me to come out best. I know that. What I'm saying is that look, you see, it's painful. It's painful to say that we are not taking initiative as a nation. You see, when you're independence, so let your independence politically, economically, and socially. You understand? Let it flow through your people. Currently, we are not economically independent. Politically, co-elections, at least will be my electoral commission. How independent are we? Socially, we are still depending on fruits from outside. We are still depending on clothing from outside. So we are not independent as a nation as we are. So 68 years of what? That's what I'm saying, that we need to change direction where we are.
But the team is also telling you something. That it's about time for us to reflect, review, and then reset.
I was trying to reflect that Kwame Nkrumah came in with good ideas. And look at how he came in 1951 when he won elections. And even the Cocoa Amendments Bill of 1954, in order to raise funds, kept the money in the Bank of England, not until 1958 or 1961 July, the money was released for us. 43 brand new secondary schools. That is what we currently use. And Ghana was not one country. It was 4 colonial constructs. He used the boarding school system to congregate us, to make us one, that various ethnic groups will come together. Today, my school is 98 years. Though it was not Nkrumah who built it. But it has the same model. Yes, you have Fantis, you have Gas. So today is Founders Day. So they'll come and display and show what. If you go to all the secondary schools, Kwame Nkrumah used the boarding school system. 43 brand new secondary school. You talk about Tema. Tema was a built township. Tema, it was a palm fringe coast with coconut trees aligning it from east to west. That is how Kwame Nkrumah described this in his book, Africa Must Unite. He intentionally built Tema. The sewage systems you see, the water systems you see, they were deliberate to put people there and put industries there. He said in 1961 alone, Kwame Nkrumah built 60 new factories, a coconut oil factory, a bicycle and tire assembly plant, a milk processing factory. Plans were put in place to build the refinery you see today. We had not brought the oil out, but he knew that he had to put a refinery there. He commissioned in 1966. Go and find out. How did we get the dam? It was a Cocoa Amendment Bill that he was able to raise money, 140 million. For the Akosombo Dam. 70 million counterpart funding came from Ghana. From Sasikana no cocoa no tea to no taxi cocoa for no 1954 because he had two cocoa price in world market and he took 71% of the increment because the CSN Ross report had said that if he gave the money to the farmers, there'll be rural inflation that will cause inflation in the countryside and it will come and spiral in the urban cities. So he kept the money and he used it for the motorway you see. The motorway today we travel on. Mr. Kumsi, one say and so one say so the power.
So what happened?
It is in Nkrumah. You say what happened?
So what happened?
So that's what I'm saying. That when Nkrumah set the country in motion and was working and import substitution, here be na pano. Yeah, first can compare dollar and compare samna. We have soap factories here. Everything we needed, he was using import substitution to build a country Ghana for us. He built many of the townships. Then those soldiers I told you and the police people, he decided to go and train, giving them opportunity to come and take over as officers. When they went to wherever they went to learn a bad culture. You understand? Yes, some of them went to Congo. They saw how they melted your man, Patrice Lumumba. So they took decisions, hard decisions against sitting presidents. And when they came back, they brought that idea here into Ghana that they will overthrow and take over. Look at Kotoka. Look at how he was murdered. You see how he was killed? He was stabbed by heart. He was bayoneted by heart. That's the result of overthrowing Nkrumah. You see, Afrifa, 10 years after he had handed over, sitting in his own village, he was brought down to Accra, not having anything to do with past 10 years. He was tied to a stake and shot by firing squad. Go and ask how the others died in their homes. Bakukra or Chaloto. No, Chaloto or Laboni Junction. Yes! A brigadier was part of Kwame Nkrumah's overthrow. No, Chaloto or Tiloto Kiosmu or Laboni Junction. Because they came to destroy the plan that Nkrumah had. Nkrumah had a plan to bring all of Africa together. Look at Guinea. At the time they were going for independence, Charles de Gaulle said that he would not allow. They should wait till 1960. They said they would go in 1958. When they decided to go, they took everything away from Guinea. Even chairs that they had brought the colonial master. So they didn't have anything to start independence. It was that money, the Cocoa Amendments Bill, the money he raised, 191 million pounds, that he gave 8 million pounds to Guinea to start the country Guinea as it is. Mali, the same thing. He had to dole out 40 million. He was thinking about Africa and bringing us together. Do you know our resource wealth if we decided to follow Nkrumah's plan to unite? Do you know where we will be today? The world will be looking at us. We will not be looking at Trump. Trump will be chasing us. We have everything. Look, our soils, what can it not hold? Even the soils, what it contains, the minerals wealth of our soils here in Africa. It cuts across. When you read in Nkrumah's book, Africa Must Unite, you'll be excited at the extent of knowledge about how he manages to catalog all our wealth as an African people, and how that wealth is not used in the interest of Africans, but rather used in the interest of those who come to exploit Africa. So yes, 68 years, but I've said, I don't think we are politically independent enough. I don't think we are economically independent enough, and I don't think we are socially independent enough. We have to find a way as a country to reshape our thoughts.
So going forward,
let's use the 2/3 majority.
We are importing tomatoes.
Yes, it's bad.
We are importing onion.
It's bad.
Even pepper.
Yes, it's bad. So you must have deliberate agricultural policies and put people into them and create a market so that they be able to buy it and bring it to. We are not working enough. How do you collapse extension of sales? How do you collapse food distribution? How? As a state, how? America, they have their distribution systems working effectively. How do you collapse all those ones?
Subscribe to channel no, like na share jumadi no ma afoforo ensa enkabi. Comment section honso na do aduntre aba makraw ibishia in the next video.
Dedi kama Mahama PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.